Mr. Raymond Mesa and his mother. And we have little Isaiah. Where are you at, little Isaiah? Oh, okay. We have Isaiah too. So, Mr. Raymond.
Before I start, I just want to give all glory to the Creator. Thank Him for allowing us to be here and share our story. Well, my name is Raymond Mesa. I'm an enrolled member of the Colorado River Indian Tribe. This is my mother. She's also an enrolled member of the Colorado River Indian Tribe out of Parker, Arizona. I'm originally from Northern California, from the city of Las Vegas. I'm an ex-gang member, I'm an ex-prison gang member, ex-dealer. I started off a rough life. We're from the west side of Las Vegas, from the projects, and I'm the third of 4 children. I got all sisters. I got no brothers. My mom was a single mother raising us, and we moved to Parker in 1990. And my older sister Cindy, she stayed behind in California. She got pregnant at a young age. She was very beautiful. My sister Cindy, she was a head turner in all the projects in Las Vegas, and its miles of projects. She was always eyeballed. Everybody always made comments to me all the way up until her death. Everybody always made comments about how beautiful she was. She was just an eye turner, and we experienced racism. We're half Indian. I'm half Indian. My mom's full-blood Indian. I'm half Mexican. And growing up in the projects, it was Mexican dominated. And they always made comments about me being Indian. You know, always around Thanksgiving time. And my mom also, she experienced racism working in the bars. People saying, "Oh, get my drink, you dirty Indian." I mean, believe it or not, in this day and age, it still happens. And we experienced, my uncle, he was beat by the Las Vegas Police Department just for being Indian, or my grandpa was. But my mom is the oldest of 9 kids, and she's the only one that branched off from the family. She decided to raise us in California, while the rest of my family moved back to Parker. So that's how we ended up becoming from California. So my oldest sister Cindy, like I said, she was beautiful. She was a head turner, and in the projects at the time, it was gang infested, and so she was automatically sought out by gang members and everything, and there was a lot of gang violence. Drugs was starting to hit the scene. She ended up getting pregnant by one of the, what I consider one of the toughest guys in the neighborhood, and she stayed behind. She stayed behind by the rest of us. Moved to Parker, and when we moved to Parker, it was a hard transition going from California to Arizona, especially from city life to reservation life. I didn't know much of my culture. I just knew about the gangs and stuff, and so it was a hard time for us. It was rough for us to transition over. And after my sister Cindy had her first baby, she escaped from California and followed us to Arizona because that relationship ended up in abuse, both physical and verbal. And so she caught up with us, and she had a hard time transitioning over. When she came over, she had the California style on her. She came with that Chola look, and so she wore too much makeup. She was automatically called the whore. She didn't wear any makeup, and it's like we were made fun of in California for being Indian, and when we got to the reservation, we were made fun of for looking Mexican. So it was rough. And My sister was real smart, warm-hearted. I mean, she wasn't stuck up. She was street smart, but she always looked for the good in everybody. And she fell into the wrong crowd, and it happened so quick, and it just happened overnight. It happened overnight. She got involved in drugs and more relationships, and she started going downhill. She started losing track of her priorities, which were her kids. She was a good mom, and she started neglecting them. Everything else was important, and we couldn't figure out why. And she ended up getting married. She ended up meeting a man from Fontana, and this man, he had his own lowrider. He's part of Duke's Car Club. He had his own lowrider magazine, but she ended up getting married to him. She had 2 kids with him, and after they got married, she got clean. She ended up going back to college, and this is after about maybe 15, 20 years of drug abuse. She ended up getting clean, and she ended up enrolling in UEI college, where she earned a degree as a medical assistant, top of her class. I mean, she resumed being who she was, which was beautiful, smart, intelligent, and in March of 2019, there was rumors circulating that they pulled, well, at the time it was just rumors that they found a body floating in a canal. And my little sister called me, and my little sister, she's the kind of little sister who always checks up on all of us. And, she's always wanting to know where you're at, or who's with you. Even though we're full-grown adults, she still treats us like we're little kids. And so when these rumors started going around that a body was pulled out of the river, she automatically started calling. She called, and when she told me that they pulled the body out, she asked me to go file a missing persons report because she can't get a hold of my sister Cindy. And I asked her, where did you get these? Where did you hear that at? And she said rumors came from an AA meeting, NA meeting. And if you don't know what that is, it's like a group of people recovering from either alcohol or substance abuse. They get together, they just work out their problems and stay sober. So naturally I said, you're gonna believe rumors coming from those kind of meetings? But just to put my little sister's mind at ease, I went and after I got off of work, I went and I filed a missing persons report, and I tried to give the police as much information as possible, just so they eliminate that it's my sister. But the next day, I ended up getting a call from the FBI, and they're asking me, if they can meet up with me and my mom. They want to know where my mom's at. So automatically I start panicking, like, why? And I start asking more questions. My sister had this tattoo, this and this, because I just wanted to say, it's not her. But they insisted, where can we find your mom at? And at this time, because it was just rumors, me and my little sister protect my mom. We didn't tell her about these rumors because, it's moms. Every kid wants to protect their mom. And even as adults, we're still doing that. And we didn't tell her nothing about the rumors. She didn't have no brace. She didn't have nothing to prepare her. And so, as I gave them the address to find her, it finally clicked in me that they're going to tell her something. I better get there before the police do, to at least soften the blow for my mom. And I was too late. By the time I got there, the FBI was there. There was cars all around the house, and I could hear my mom already crying from the outside. And I went inside, and because my mom, I'm pretty sure, I don't know how she felt. I hope I never do. But she wasn't all there. She just blacked out. And so they showed me the picture, and it was my sister. It was my sister, and that's one of the hardest feelings. Somebody hurt my big sister, and she's gone. And as a brother, like I said, I'm an ex-gang member. I'm an ex-gang member from California. I'm an ex-drug dealer. I helped destroy the community I was a part of. So at that moment, and I'm not law enforcement. I haven't been to college. I have no degree, very minimal life skills. But someone did this to my sister. How can I help? What can I do I felt this is my sister, and I'm listening to my other sisters cry and my mom cry. But as a brother, I want to go get these people who did this to her, but I don't even know where to start. So the police and the FBI told me to go inside and warn up my family, and I said no. There's killers out there, let's go get them. And like I said, what can I do? I'm somebody who's been in prison half my life, and I'm not law enforcement, but I refuse to live the way I used to live. I refuse to go out and hurt people. So the next morning we slept. The next morning we got together. I jumped up and I told my family how much money you got. So we came up with $5,000. We started printing our own reward posters. We started flooding social media. We started calling the news stations, the radio stations. We got on ABC News. We made a lot of noise, and that's what a brother could do that doesn't have any. The only thing I can do for my sister is let everybody know what happened to her, is to alert the community. While the more law enforcement told me to be quiet, the louder we got, and I started getting the feeling that she wasn't getting priority because of her lifestyle, because she was a Native woman, because there was a lot of victim blaming. What did she do? What did she do? And the manner that she was murdered, she wasn't just murdered, she was tortured, she was brutally murdered. And that's what set in my mind, my family's mind, is that we can't let whoever get away with this. And people try to scare us and saying that it was cartel related, that it was mafia related, that it was inside job, that, rumors started circulating that maybe she was informant for the task force, but all those rumors and stuff were squashed. And the more they try to scare us away, the louder we got, because that's our sister. A lot of people will say, I got homies that passed away, I got this homies, I got my aunties, my uncles that passed away, and they come numb to it. They're willing to accept that somebody did harm to their family. For me, all it took was just my sister, that's it. That was it. And me being an ex-gang member and an ex-prison gang member, there's a lot of things that they said I couldn't do. While I was on parole when this happened, and they say we can't work with the police, we can't talk to the police. Well, that's street law, and I'm an ex-gang member. So me and my family, we got together and we organized the first community march in Parker against drugs and violence, and to raise awareness for my sister Cindy. And people from all around came, as far as Banning, California, Yuma, Peachtree, Fort Mojave. They came from all over to help. And it was a rough road. I knocked on churches' doors to ask for help, and I had so many doors slammed in my face. And it's discouraging, because the very people that you think should stand beside you, such as tribal leaders and stuff, were the first ones to shut you down. And then you start knowing that the road for justice is a hard fought one, and not just, you know what I mean. You have to keep going forward. And we kept fighting and fighting. We got on the news, and the community, both tribal and non-tribal, they started rallying behind us. And the reward money went from $5,000 all the way to $15,000, and the killers were caught. The FBI, they called us and let us know that they're executing two warrants on my sister's murder. And since the community was behind us, and then there were always, and I promised the community that I would let them know everything going on, I celebrated it with just one word. I posted a picture of my sister Cindy with the word victory across it, and everybody celebrated. And as a family, now that the killers are caught, everybody was celebrating. We started facing the court. We went to court, and because of the manner she was murdered, they were worthy of the death penalty. But as a family, we decided to pull that, because where we refuse to become murderers ourselves, because that, and believe me, the carnal man in me, when this happened here, I wanted to kick in doors and I wanted to tie people up myself and do this, but it's got to stop somewhere. And at some point in time, we have to do what's right. And we got on our knees and we prayed and we asked for guidance from the Creator, and He led us. He sent us the best team, the best FBI team. When the killers went to court, they went before Judge MMIP, which is the first Native judge appointed in the federal court system, and they got the max. They both got 25 years, and we could have just took our victory and went to our house and that was it, and just went to bed knowing that we took 2 killers off the street. We helped in that, but no, it wasn't even a year later that I got a call in the middle of the night, and it's another family asking me for help, and I could hear the same sound in their voice, and I got up, and just hearing it in their voice, I relived it all over again with my sister, and I was out there helping, and it was another young lady, and again, the police, because she was an adult in her lifestyle, they didn't take it, they refused to do a missing persons report right away, and they would say things like maybe she don't want to be found, maybe she's in needles, maybe she's partying, and well, she was found, and she was found in a shallow grave in a field. And so that next year, me and it's a Yazzie family, me and the Yazzie family, and she'll be here tomorrow to tell her story. We got together and we formed a grassroots group called, the first march was called Let Her Be the Last. The second march, we came together, and that group is now called Stand Strong Together. And every December, we march through Parker, and we raise awareness for murdered and missing Indigenous women, murdered and missing Indigenous people. We raise awareness against drugs and violence because we live so close to the border. I mean, there's human trafficking. I mean, we got the weakest laws in the state. And you think us being a sovereign government that our reservation would be feared, but it's not. You know, there's only so much that the tribal government can do against these kind of things. But every year we have an annual march, and it gets bigger and bigger every year. And through those marches, I got contacted by other agencies. I've been asked to go out to Crossroads Mission and Yuma to speak. I've asked to go to numerous places to speak, just to tell the story of my sister for not giving up the fight. And I ended up getting contacted by the Department of Justice, and they invited me to sit on a panel. And I didn't really know what the panel was, because when anybody asked me for help, I'm so quick to jump up and just like, okay, I'm there. And I didn't realize that I was sitting on, in 2019, in November 26th, an executive order was signed by then President Trump, which is called Operation Lady Justice. It's the very first presidential task force aimed at investigating the cases on murdered and missing Indigenous women. And I was asked to sit on a panel and consultants and consult on the very first handbook on what to do when a family goes missing, and it's a handbook to guide victims and survivors through the process on what to do, how to make flyers, who to contact. And again, I'm an ex-gang member. I mean, I'm a nobody. I haven't been to college. I don't got a college degree or nothing. And just by me being a brother and fighting for my sister, her story is now nationwide on a national level. And the more and more events that we just got done coming from an event in Las Vegas, the missing and unidentified missing persons conference in Las Vegas. And I got to sit there with agencies such as the Amber Alert, Jim Walters, and representatives from Canada that came down to tell the story about all the children they found in the Kamloops school, residential school. We got to hear the stories of the people that responded first to the bodies being found. And all of this comes from a family that refused to give up on justice, that we refused because they said she was Native, and because of her lifestyle, they made us feel like she wasn't worth the effort. We got up there and we made a lot of noise, and now my sister's name is written in the handbook, Operation Lady Justice, and our voices have power. And you might think that you're just too small to make a difference, but I'm telling you right now, just your love and your determination and more, your physical body will get you so far, but the Creator will take you the rest of the way. And this is a spiritual battle, and you keep going forward and let the love for your loved ones guide you, and there's no limit to where it takes you. And to this day, we're still getting contacted by agencies. I was just asked to go out to Billings, I think Billings, Montana, and to speak. And we're also helping. I mean, there's not much we can do, but with the Canada situation, but by showing support, just support, it means a lot. Us as Native people right now, there's a lot against us in this day and age. They have all the resources to track down every penny that a father doesn't pay in child support. They can, in the county of LA, they can sit here and give you a number of how many gang members there are. They can give you the numbers and the tally of all kinds of things, but they cannot give you a number on the amount of Native people that are murdered or missing right now, especially the women. And it's like an epidemic. And the more they're fighting, the more they're realizing that it's a modern day genocide. I mean, there's a lot going on, and as Native people, you watch, just keep close to your loved ones, and always be accountable for it. Let your family know where you're at and everything. And you want to say anything more?
Be of what my son said. I'm so proud of him for not giving up. He's pulled us through, and he's helping a lot of other people to try to have hope. And you just have to keep your loved ones near you. Let the children tell. It doesn't matter if you're mad at the person or whoever it is. Let somebody know exactly where you're at, because you don't want your parents or anybody to feel this pain. It hurts. They'll never go away. But you get that and tell each other, hold each other, tell each other that you love them. Let them always know, because I got the chance to tell my daughter that, and we hugged each other, and she asked me to pray for her, and I told her I always pray for my children. Always keep that door open. It doesn't matter. Just let somebody know where you're at. Just keep safe. Keep each other safe. So,
Thank you for listening to our story.
Mr. Mesa, the Mesa family, Cynthia Ann Williams. We honor Cynthia Ann Williams. We just thank you guys for coming out all the ways from Arizona. Let's give them another round of applause. And also, I just wanted to take a moment of silence right now for some other people here that have had their family members pass recently this week. We want to just take a moment of silence right now and honor our Vice President, Fawn Durrell, as she has had some family members pass away, and she's still here doing this for the youth. I mean, that is, we just want to honor her. We want to honor her family. You know, them passing. Lloyd, also, your family, we honor your family. We want to take a moment of silence. Anyone else, Chairman, anyone else, if it was your family as well,